Good morning, everybody. It's so great to see you all here. I've had this really cool experience recently as I've been planning this conference. There's many of you that I've been working with for years and never actually saw you in person. And so it's really fun to connect with people on a personal level, and I thank you all for being here this morning. I'm Lisa Trauernicht, and I am here on behalf of the Mid-Willamette Valley Homeless Alliance to welcome you to Shaping the Future, the Mid-Willamette Valley Affordable Housing Conference. This conference was made possible by a generous grant from the City of Salem, and with the city's support, the Homeless Alliance has had the opportunity to bring together affordable housing experts from across the region and beyond to share the whys and hows of affordable housing developments that enhance communities. The Fair Housing Council of Oregon has a table over there along the side. Visit them during the day if you get a chance. They have also sponsored this event, and they're a great partner of the Homeless Alliance and provide valuable information and training resources to the community. So if you need any fair housing training, they're your people. Check them out. So I'd like to give a big thank you to the City of Salem and the Fair Housing Council for sponsoring this event today. We have a great lineup of presenters, and if you haven't already seen it, on our website, the Homeless Alliance website, which is mwvhomelessalliance.org, is a list of everybody's bios. So as you go through the day, and you're interested, you can pull up on your phone and find out more about the more information about the organizations and the presenters. And then also it's a way for you to connect with them after the conference if you don't get a chance to touch base with them today. I do have one announcement. There were 2 bicycles that were brought into the building and left by the stairs, and the conference event people have moved it into those 2 bicycles into their admin office because they didn't want them to get taken. So if you're missing a bicycle, check the admin office, which is on the first floor by the elevators. All right, now to get going, I'd like to introduce the City of Salem's Mayor, Chris Hoy, who was instrumental in bringing this conference to fruition. Mayor Hoy took office in November 2022 after serving as Salem City Councilor for Ward 6 since March 2017. He's a 4th-generation Oregonian who grew up at the coast, and his family was one of the earliest Dungeness crab processors. That's hard to say. He graduated from Willamette University with a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and a minor in English before beginning a 30-year career in law enforcement, which took him to many different areas and doing a lot of good work there. Throughout his career, Mayor Hoy worked to help individuals in the system have better outcomes and reduce recidivism. Some of the highlights of his career include helping people with mental illness and avoid criminal penalties for low-level offenses. He oversaw a residential alcohol and drug treatment program and started a program dedicated to treating drug-addicted women through trauma-informed care. Trauma-informed care is what the Homeless Alliance is all about, and part of coming together as a collaborative to have a trauma-informed approach to providing services in our region. And so Mayor Hoy has been instrumental in that throughout his career. He initiated one of the first cognitive behavioral programs for adults in custody to help reduce recidivism. He implemented programs for children of incarcerated parents, and he was a leader in implementing evidence-based practices in corrections in Oregon. One of Mayor Hoy's most rewarding experiences was working with domestic violence survivors to break the cycle of domestic abuse. He has served on the Governor's Reentry Council for a number of years. He was first elected to City Council in a special election in March 2017 and was reelected in May of 2018, and since then has been elected by his peers to serve as the chair, which also is the chair of the Salem Housing Authority. Mayor Hoy was appointed to the state legislature in December 2021 to fill a remainder of the term for House District 21. Sorry. You don't like all the attention? Come on. Oh, we do care, we do care. Okay, I'm almost done. He lives in East Salem with 2 very cute rescue dogs. And in his free time, he enjoys Now you got me all off course. He enjoys photography and cycling. So please, everybody, warm welcome for Mayor Chris Hoy.
Seriously, nobody cares. Especially after we had a council work session that went till a little after 9 last night. It's allergy season. Nobody cares. Anyway, welcome to this. I'm so excited about you all being here to this event today. This has been a long time coming. We've been talking about this conference for about the last year. You know, the Homeless Alliance is such a critical part of the work we do here in Salem in terms of addressing homelessness. We try to look at everything through a regional approach, and so we have partners from all over the Marion-Polk region who come together every month to work on homelessness, and I'm so excited. We have Commissioner Jeremy Gordon here from Polk County today. We have the Mayor of Monmouth, we have the Mayor of Independence, we have representatives from our U.S. Senators, we have a Salem City Councilor Deanna Gwynn, we have the Mayor of Kaiser, thank you, and that's why I didn't want to do introductions, because I knew I was going to miss somebody, and she's sitting at my table, so I apologize for that. Anyway, the work that we're doing on homelessness is, you know, we couldn't do it without this regional approach, and really the key to all of it is addressing our housing problem, and that's why you're all here today. We're doing a lot of great things in the city, but we know we can do more, and we want to learn from all of you, and we're hoping that we have some things that we can share as well. So with that, we're going to start with a quick video about the Homeless Alliance's work, so let's just get into that, and then we'll talk some more. The Homeless Alliance began with an initiative where a group of local leaders came together to want to, in a collective way, start addressing our problems with homelessness here in Salem in the Marion-Polk region.
They're bringing together all the organizations in our community who are seeking to help those who are unsheltered. They're removing duplication and helping us partner better to meet the needs of every person who's unsheltered.
It really takes these targeted approaches and methodologies, sometimes from multiple service providers or different service providers, just to save one life.
Being able to come together at the table, all of us, I can tell has really been making a difference. And it's a very valuable role that the Alliance is playing.
They give me the chance to be heard, and I feel like that's something that's important coming from lived experience.
Helping homeless in our community helps each of us to have a safer place to live, and including the individuals who are on the street.
I'm a member of the Health and Safety Subcommittee, and again, we're doing a lot at that level to really strengthen those connections and look at how we can go upstream to address some of the root causes of homelessness, which typically include a lot of healthcare-related issues.
They started with this needs analysis and looking for the gaps, and that's where we've been able to apply for funds for young adult sheltering.
Backbone is a youth action board that I'm a part of. We have members ages 11 through 24 with lived or allied homeless experience, and we advocate for homeless youth in Marion and Polk County. As Backbone, we might not have all the resources that the people on the street need or the youth need, so working with the Alliance and other organizations really helps.
The Alliance has really brought our community together over the past 3 years. It's been very nice to see the connections that have been made and the progress that we've been able to make to bring more funding to our community.
The collaborative committee is where all the different service providers from around the community come together to coordinate services, to share resources, and provide trainings together. It's really the all-access spot where people can enter into the Alliance structure and then even from there join other committees.
It takes an entire community coming together to look at ways to prevent homelessness and ensure folks are getting access to the services and supports they need.
I think it's a matter of just accepting them where they're at and meeting them where they're at and helping them through to getting to where they should be and where they ultimately probably want to be.
I live in Falls City, Oregon, which suffers from the highest rate of youth homelessness. Almost 1 in 4 students experience homelessness. And just to see a program manifest in rural Polk County is going to address that problem in ways that it never has.
If we could have anything in the community, it would be more volunteering time. Money is always appreciated and put to good use, but the time spent can really change attitudes and also helps us that are doing the work feel supported.
Efforts and individuals bringing forth what their self-worth is more valuable than any money in these matters.
There's a strong stigma out there that's very, very negative, and that does not help. And so as much work as everybody is doing to come together is just as much we need to fight the stigma.
If I had one wish for individuals and families who are homeless, it would be to have landlords who would participate and buy into the need for the housing in order to help them be successful.
The biggest thing I would think is more understanding and sympathy for the systemic issues that lead to homelessness, as opposed to thinking of it as an individual issue based on a person's choices.
It took generations for us to get to this point. It will take generations for us to work out. So that means we are going to have to try a lot of things. We're not going to do so great at a lot of things, but we're going to have a ton of wins in the meantime.
Nobody benefits from large unmanaged congregate camping. Nobody benefits from homelessness. Nobody chooses it. Nobody wants it. But we have an obligation to do something about it with evidence and action-based solutions, and that's what we're doing.
There's every reason to believe that this community can meet the needs of every person who is currently on a sidewalk or in a park.
If we can really get at some of those core issues, I'm confident that we can address the houseless problem within our community.
We're in the middle of a humanitarian crisis. We literally have people dying on our streets, and we have to do all we can to end that. And this Homeless Alliance is our best effort to make that happen.
If the Alliance can keep it up, we're going to find a solution.
I want to thank Allied Video for producing that video, and also everybody who participated in it. I want to give a special shout out to Amber and David for sharing your stories, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really do have other jackets. Apparently this is my favorite one. I don't know. It is my great pleasure now to introduce the chair of the board of the Mid-Willamette Valley Homeless Alliance, Polk County Commissioner Jeremy Gordon.
Well, good morning, everybody. Chris just asked me to ask board members to stand up. Board members of the Alliance, please stand up. Thank you for your service. Thank you for having the tough conversations and making sure the work of the Alliance is sustainable into the future. So I first learned about the Homeless Alliance, I think it was 2019, at a mayor's gathering in Dallas, Oregon. It was that time of the evening when all the mayors take turns giving an update about something exciting happening in their community, a summer event, a newly funded infrastructure project. There were probably some really bad jokes about sewer projects and the like. But one update really stood out. Kaiser Mary Kathy Clark devoted her time to an upcoming regional collaborative called the Mid-Willamette Valley Homeless Alliance, which is a HUD-designated continuum of care that emerged from the work of the Mid-Willamette Homeless Initiative. As mayor of a small rural community suffering from deep intergenerational poverty, housing precarity, and homelessness, you can imagine how excited I was at the promise of the Alliance and the strength of its partnerships and vision to prevent and end homelessness in our region. People are actually doing something for once, and man, I wanted to be a part of it right then and there, but it turns out I had to wait a few years until I was commissioner. I was so hopeful for the same reasons you just heard voiced in the video. Intentionality, shared vision, strong partnerships consisting of people with lived experience of homelessness and allies, local elected officials, community action agency, UGM and other faith-based organizations, multiple service providers interfacing with those at risk and experiencing homelessness, the United Way, Marion and Polk Food Share, public safety professionals, housing authorities, healthcare leaders, you name it. Everybody was there, and the Alliance was on its way, and it's been a privilege to witness the Alliance's continued growth and development as a Polk County Commissioner. A growing collective of partners are at the table to regularly identify service gaps, conduct a yearly housing inventory count, build efficiencies through coordination in our regional response as a continuum and not as a series of competing silos. To streamline our data collection systems through HMIS, by the way, we have 25 agencies now using the same data system. Review system performance measures annually, coordinate with health and behavioral health service providers, and work with Backbone, our incredible youth action board that performs critical planning and consultation for youth and young adult programs and recent emergency order projects, among many other critical roles. The Alliance is successful because of the solidarity of purpose from so many partners. And though we've really just begun our work as a continuum of care, I'd like to highlight some examples of the value the Alliance has brought to our community. $2 million in permanent housing investments and $3.5 million in street outreach and emergency shelter services has enabled providers to serve over 6,500 people, including 822 children. Just last year, the Homeless Alliance is one of 77 communities nationwide to participate in the Youth Homeless Demonstration Project. $3.7 million was awarded by HUD and distributed through the Alliance to address youth homelessness in our communities, where we discovered that 70% of homeless adults experience homelessness as children. Talk about a prevention strategy. We could not have earned this investment for youth without the incredible work of our colleagues at Backbone. They created the coordinated community plan to end youth homelessness, and because of their efforts, Polk County's first ever youth homeless program will move in its first tenants this summer, serving 10 homeless youth. 10 homeless youth will be served at a time, and there's a program to transition them as young adults to traditional apartment living with supports as they exit the youth program. Big thanks to Community Action, Church at the Park, and Backbone for stepping up and doing the necessary work to serve our homeless youth and young adults. As you know, the Homeless Alliance was recently named in the Governor's emergency order and tasked with investing $10.4 million to rehouse 158 households and create 79 shelter beds. Well, we worked swiftly over the past couple of months to finalize by consensus a community plan that identified strategies, barriers, and target populations who experience homelessness at disproportionate rates in our communities. I'm happy to report that because of the momentum already in motion at the Alliance, ours is the first region in the state to finalize providers and projects that will collectively create over 200 shelter beds and rehouse 185 of our neighbors. So many of you in this room stepped up to help plan, carry out the work, or both. Our gratitude goes out to the selected service providers that are charged with doing the work. We are here to support your work to end homelessness for almost 400 people in response to the Governor's emergency order. Thank you also to Salem Health, Pacific Source, our behavioral health providers, nonprofits, and other partners for answering the call and supporting the planning and implementation efforts. And this Governor's emergency order work doesn't even include the Yaquina Hall, the Navigation Center, Arches Lodge, and the many other sheltering and affordable housing projects either coming online or have recently opened their doors. Despite all these successes, challenges do remain. The charter of the Oregon Housing Stability Council identifies several factors that contribute to the housing crisis with profound public health implications, and they are right on target for our region as well. They include insufficient housing supply to meet demand, insufficient funding for the development and preservation of affordable housing, lack of resources for addressing the needs of those who are homeless or at risk, lack of strategies for addressing out-of-reach rents and home ownership pricing, and economic stagnation in certain communities, especially in rural communities. But when we kind of put this program together with Lisa and Chris, we said we need to have the tough conversations and we need to hear what the barriers are and find solutions despite those challenges. So much of our work is done to meet these challenges because of and in partnership with our state partners. Our gratitude goes out to the governor herself, who wasted no time and addressed the homelessness and housing crisis as soon as she was sworn into office, and to Oregon Housing and Community Services for providing vast expertise, support, and opportunity to serve our neighbors who suffer under the weight of homelessness and housing precarity.